So today I'm not giving a lecture. I just want to see if anybody here in the crowd, people have not met me or they would like to ask some questions. I would take up any question, and especially those who like to meet me after this program, I will meet them as well. So they have come from very different distant places.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
My name is Munir Siddiqui.
Yes.
I am also from Milton, from nearby your place. Okay, my question is, this question comes in our mind that why IIPC? Because there are so many Muslim organizations and scholars working, and through YouTube and through social media and also through different organizations. So the question comes in, what is the difference of between IIPC and other people?
Okay.
And it's my own question from my heart, that why I should focus on IIPC more than them, or
Okay.
what is the more important thing that, or the reasons? Thank you so much.
Thank you. You see, that's a very, very good question that Muslim people, the scholars, are doing work spreading Islam. The difference between the IIPC or my study of the Quran is very different. You see, when I started reading the Quran at the age of 34, it was very difficult for me to comprehend the Quran, the text. So, you see, I'll tell you, the Quran speaks of various subjects mingled. It speaks about marriage, and then it will speak, suppose it speaks of marriage, then it will speak of Day of Judgment, then children of Israel, then Adam and Noah, Moses. It is all in jumble up. So I use the word jumble up, but I would like to clarify. Whenever from the childhood, when we learn anything, the whole book is not taught. You are taught portions of that book, like for example, physics, chemistry, civil, mathematics, all little subjects are joined together, because in quarter an hour, a mind cannot take up everything. So this particular physics, chemistry, jointly you study, and in the end of the year, the whole physics you come to know, mixed with this chemistry and mixed with other subjects. But at the end of the year, you come to know this is physics, this is chemistry, this is mathematics. So what I'm trying to convey, similarly the Quran is. One particular subject is not discussed in one chapter. They're all mixed up. So for me, it was very difficult to comprehend one subject because I could not understand, because they are all mixing up. So I took up, as we study, I took up one subject, took up from the Quran, like for example, the prayer, the salah. It has come many times in many surahs and chapters. So I selected those verses, suppose 35, they may be hundreds. I took up basic 35s to understand and read them. I read the whole, but I took few to explain what salah is, the prayer. Because you're reading now about salah, so your mind is focused on salah. So then I took up those verses and give the booklet, which I speak to the audience. So people can follow what I am saying and what the Quran is saying. They have got the booklets in their hands in my lectures. When I speak about Quranic ayahs, about that particular subject, so people can understand the subject. This is the biggest difference with all the Muslim scholars of the world. No one gives you a booklet in your hand, the Quranic verses, that he's going to speak. Normally they speak one or two ayahs and then they go into tradition, which I don't go. Because to me, that subject is explained within the Quran particularly. So salah, marriage, divorce, there are many subjects. I've delivered at least 100 English Urdu mixed chapters, topics, which are delivered by me. And I don't think so, I'm not boasting for that. There is not a single person in the whole world who take up a subject from the Quran, speak on those verses, and then come to a conclusion that this is what the Quran says about the prayer. This is what Quran says about God. This is what Quran says about Muhammad, peace be upon him. This is what Quran says about Jesus, peace be upon him. So I'm the only person I've seen, I'm doing it, and nobody does it. So this is the big, huge difference between the other people. The scholars, they quote one ayat, then they go to traditions, they talk about history, and that's a big difference. Huge difference, I would say. So the understanding that comes from that particular subject will be totally unusual for other people to understand, because they are reading it in jumbled form. And one verse is related to another verse, but they take that verse into hadith. So now the other verses clarify. One verse clarify the other verse. So this I've studied like this.